The following show is a Pod Avenue production. You are cordially invited to have dinner with the King. Pull up a chair and join WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler and Glenn Moore. Enjoy.
Live from Memphis, Tennessee, it's Dinner with the King, episode number 74. I'm Glenn Moore, joined here by WWE Hall of Famer, a man that will be hitting the high C here soon, Jerry the King Lawler. King, we are literally almost an hour
away from leaving the house.
Yeah, an hour away from you leaving the house, getting to the airport, getting down to Florida, preparing for the Jericho Cruise, taking off this Saturday. And you'll be gone for about 5 days
on the high seas. Yes, sir. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Live from Memphis, Tennessee. I thought you were going to say it's Saturday night, but it's not.
No, it's not.
That Saturday is the day that the cruise disembarks, right?
Correct.
Is that the proper word, disembarks?
I don't know. Well, the cruise cannot leave without a sail-away toast.
Really?
Now, on the schedule, this is public knowledge. We're not breaking anything. But before the cruise sets sail, there has to be a speech. There has to be a toast.
Oh, I've seen that. And does somebody hit something with a bottle of champagne?
I think
that's the boat or
that's
something.
to christen a boat.
Oh, okay.
I think the ship has been christened before. It's an older boat.
Oh.
The Norwegian Jade is the cruise that you're.
It's a beautiful boat.
Beautiful.
You and I looked at it online last night, and it really is very fantastic.
So you're going to be,
and I'm not. That's not a sales pitch because it's sold out, right?
Yeah, sold out. Jericho Cruise is sold out as of here on Wednesday afternoon. But you and JR are hosting this thing.
We're the hosts.
So you're going to be just doing some hosting duties for different aspects of this Jericho Cruise. Also, there's a live podcast with you and JR. But the one thing I'm looking forward to getting tweets about is the sail away toast.
Well, now I know you and I have talked about this, but now that I think I've got a sail away toast in mind, but actually I think that would be more for christening a ship.
Well, I think you need to do a sail away toast because it's for good luck.
Oh,
for the whole trip. Nothing happens. You do a sail away toast. Everybody grabs their drink of choice. You will probably grab a Diet Coke.
Yep.
JR will probably have a Moscow Mule.
No, he'll go with a Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
Surely.
And you raise your glass and you say a speech. And then you guys can sail away with good luck for the whole trip. So I'm looking forward to seeing tweets and some video of that.
Okay.
Because I know you have some lines planned out.
I do. But like I've said, once again, I was going to steal a line.
Yeah.
From one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
But then when I look back at the movie, they were actually using that line to christen a boat.
But I think you can use the line. You can use this.
Okay, I'll probably use it.
So you want to give what you're going to say? You want to say it?
Well, let me get my speaking voice in order here. And then maybe people will let them wonder for a minute what movie this came from.
Yeah.
Because probably a lot of people that listen to this haven't even seen this movie.
No, I don't think a lot of people will know this.
Oh, really? Well, I plan to say something like, let me see. Yeah, okay, ready. Ready?
Yes, sir.
It's easy. Okay, let's edit that out.
No, we're keeping that in.
No, come on.
We're keeping that in.
Okay. It's easy to grin when your ship comes in and you've got the stock market beat. But the man worthwhile is the man who can smile when his shorts are too tight in the seat.
And then, let's see if people
That's
know
the
the
man
movie.
who can smile when his shorts are too tight in the seat.
Now, I know the movie.
Well, I guess you do know the movie. You looked that up. You were looking for christening toast, right?
Yeah.
You've come up with that.
No, what I heard when you heard you're going to do that's the first thing I thought of. That is
one of our favorite movies. My favorite movie.
Yeah, my favorite movie. One of my favorites.
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. When Judge Smails is
what was his name?
Judge Smails.
Judge Smells.
Snails.
I don't know.
Snails.
Okay.
He is christening the boat the Flying Wasp. And then his wife.
His wife actually christened it with the bottle of champagne. Yeah. She broke the bow off the what was that, like the flag holder?
Yeah,
or something?
I don't know what's
very
called.
front of the ship.
Yeah.
Broke.
And
he said, "Get the glue."
Don't just stand there. Get the glue. And then Rodney Dangerfield sees him and has his big old.
Now I really hope that we don't, if we do christen the boat or something with the bottle of champagne as we disembark, I hope it doesn't break anything on the boat.
Well, we found out where your room is at.
Man, you've really been researching this thing.
You
What's wrong with
you wanted to see what if it was about. So it's very front of the boat. So if there's any icebergs out there, you'll be the first one to know.
Icebergs down in the Bahamas?
Any rocks sticking out or any?
I'm just gonna get out there and go, the king of the world.
You gotta get a photo of you doing that. Don't fall over though.
No kidding.
You'd be gone forever.
Yes, you would be.
Lost at sea. That's not funny. I'm sorry.
No, that's not.
Well, you looking forward to this trip?
I am. It should be a lot of fun. Like I said, we said before, Lauren and I, neither of us have ever been on a cruise. Mm. So this is our first. And there's not many things, me at my age and what I've been through in my life, there's not many firsts in my life.
Well, a cruise is.
A cruise is.
Well, it should be a fun time for you and Lauren. Yeah, we got JR's on there. We got James Ellsworth, our good buddy James Ellsworth.
Ellsworth's on there?
James Ellsworth is on there. We got Rey Mysterio.
Yes, Ray.
Pat Patterson's going to be on the cruise.
Pat Patterson. He's hosting karaoke night, I think, right? It's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect for him. I'm sure Lauren will be up there singing with Pat.
Pat Patterson. I did it my...
He does it my way. And what's the other one? He's got another one that's...
I don't know. But
they
he'll be
all
on
sound
there.
the same.
He'll be there. It'll be a fun time for everybody.
Yeah.
So Jericho Cruise.
Hurricane's going to be there. Chris Jericho's going to be there.
Yeah.
Going to be live wrestling on the cruise.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time.
I keep wanting to say boat. You don't call it a boat. This is a ship. This thing's huge,
yeah,
right?
It's a big boy. And they have
several swimming pools.
Yeah, restaurants. They have a theater.
A theater?
Where the wrestling matches are going to be taking place.
Yeah. Here's my only concern. We'll be out at sea on Sunday.
Right. Oh, the Browns game.
The Browns game. Yikes.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't think they have an NFL ticket on the cruise ship.
Did we already talk last week about how despondent and how heartbroken we were after
this is the first podcast since the last last Browns game. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh man, I'm telling you, it's just the Browns. I mean, no matter what, something bad always happens to the Browns. Yeah. The officiating has been horrifying. Yeah. I mean, every game have you noticed that like almost after every game, the NFL goes back and looks at the game and they actually apologize to the Cleveland Browns.
They apologize for a blown call, apologize for something that went wrong that affected the game.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It would have altered the game dramatically. Yep. So that's what's happening with the Browns. It's very depressing.
Very depressing. But anyway, I was hoping to see. This is a big game this week. They're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. Yeah. So I was wanting to watch that. I wonder if you could see TV on the ship.
Well, maybe they will have some games playing. Hopefully. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Maybe. Well, this is our pre-Halloween show. Our next episode will be on Halloween.
And what about did we advertise a Halloween guest?
We did advertise a Halloween guest. We had a Halloween guest. It was a good friend of ours. Well, I'm not sure anymore. Tom Savini was going to be the guest.
He's my good friend. Do you know Tom?
I got his number. I've met him before at a WB show.
Got his number.
And I was coordinating with them to do a podcast recording a couple of days ago, and while he was traveling home, and we didn't hear from him all day. We're all set up to do the podcast at the time that he agreed upon. And he texted me and said, I left my phone at Panera.
About 2.5 hours after the time.
Right. He said he left his phone at Panera and didn't realize it till an hour down the road. How do you go an hour down the road without your phone, like realizing you lost your phone? Anyway, so he had to drive back an hour.
Yep.
And then get the phone. And then he was, way behind for driving. So didn't work out. And he's a busy man, so no Tom Savini. Maybe next year. We tried 2 years in a row.
We can have Tom on any time. He's done so much.
Yeah, but it's Halloween. It's October. It's the perfect time to do it.
Well, Tom's done more than just horror makeup.
I know. but I just wanted to have a
I told you about his house. A lot of people come to my house, my castle here, and they walk around and they see Norman Rockwell originals on the wall, and they see the Batmobile and a 10-foot tall Incredible Hulk and all these weird things that I have in my house, and they're kind of impressed sometimes. But you've never seen anything like Tom Savini's house.
Really?
Unbelievable.
We get a lot of horror movie masks and monster masks here at that house.
And Tom has thousands.
Thousands.
I'm not exaggerating. Thousands. He has an entire. You actually go out of his house and through this cool. I can't say backyard. It's an open air area. But there's the creature from the Black Lagoon is standing there, and there's all sorts of just spooky things that you got to go through. But then you go through that open air area, and then there's another, like his workshop. His workshop is amazing. That's where thousands of masks are, and he makes these unbelievable masks, and they're all in there. Oh gosh, I mean, so many cool things. You remember, of course, the scariest movie I ever saw in my life that I ever saw was The Exorcist.
Yeah.
And he's got, what I'm going to tell you too is he has collected things like I collect things over the years from the horror industry. Being around all of these great movies and all this stuff. He's got the bust and the head of Linda Blair from the Exorcist movie where her head spun around.
That's awesome.
Oh, I could just stand there and look at that for hours. At the foot of his bed, what do you think's at the foot of his bed?
You told me this, and I was going to ask you about this question after you were stopped talking. But
just imagine waking up every morning and staring at you from the foot of your bed is a 9-foot tall Gort.
That's awesome.
Gort the robot from The Day the Earth Stood Still, the original movie, The Day the Earth Stood Still. It's just every inch of his house is just it's just amazing.
Well, Friday the 13th movies are my favorite horror franchise, and he worked on a few of those films.
Yes,
the first one, I think the third one.
He created the kid that came up, the biggest scare of all time.
Yeah.
He created the kid that came up out of the water at the old, what was it, lake? What was the camp?
Camp Crystal Lake.
Camp Crystal Lake. The kid that came up.
Yeah.
It was Jason, of course, that came up out of the water and grabbed the girl at the end of the scariest part of that movie ever.
Now
he created the makeup for that kid.
That movie was in the 80s. This is before CGI, before the advancement of prosthetics and whatnot. His kill scenes were so realistic.
Yes.
The movie association, the critics, whatever, that put it rated R, PG-13, or rated X, that they needed to cut the scenes that were too realistic because his makeup was that good.
Yes. Absolutely.
So for the first movie.
Yeah.
But
and one of my favorites, and of course Tom was not only he's not only done the makeup and creatures and all of this kind of stuff for so many movies, but he's been in I don't know how many movies. 50 or 60 movies himself. Yeah. One of my favorites was From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, yes.
That's a great movie, and Tom, of course, plays a great character in there. And one of the cool things that I really noticed about is that the first time I was there, they have, and he actually gave me one later on, these things called death masks. Have you seen a death mask before?
No.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I think the first one may have been made of Abraham Lincoln, and what they have done in the past are of people that have died in certain ways. They would literally put plaster of Paris on their face after they died, and then for a short period of time until it hardened, and they pull it off, and then they have that death mask, and they make a mold out of that, and it's just perfect mold of the person's face. And now they do it to almost all actors. I think they still call them death masks, but anyway, they do it with all actors now so that they'll have a perfect mold of an actor's face, and they can create prosthetics, different kind of pieces of makeup to go on an actor's face. They can use that mold to do it. He had them of Boris Karloff and Lon Chaney Jr. and all those famous horror people, but then he knew what a fan I was, and he looked around and found and gave me a death mask of George Reeves.
Oh my goodness!
Superman, the original Superman.
I wonder how they set that up with celebrities. Like, is there a company that does it that before you pass away, you agree to have it done?
Well, yeah, they usually, like I said, usually they have to do it. Makeup people do it for them for movies, for makeup.
You're right.
And actually, it saves a lot of them, volunteer to do that because it saves them a lot of time in sitting in a makeup chair. Then the makeup people can actually make these prosthetics and make it from the mask instead of actually having the actor sit there in a makeup chair.
So a person that passed away 30 years ago did a death mask. You can do that to put a mask on for a movie in today's day and age.
You haven't seen my mask of George Reeves?
No, I have not.
It's really creepy.
Really?
I mean, it's like your whole Peyton. What are you doing? Run upstairs and grab my George Reeves death mask. You know where it is?
Peyton has no clue where it is.
Right next to the pool table, to the left. It's in a box.
Oh yeah. Okay, I've seen. Yeah. You didn't show me it, but I've seen it sitting in the box.
Yeah, it's in a box.
So what can you? That's great. Are you gonna get one?
And am I gonna get a death mask made of me? I honestly, Tom, volunteered to do that. Yeah, I would love that. And I, you know what? I think that's what they do with this Madame Tussauds wax museum. I think they have the people come in. I think they do.
Yeah.
But then sometimes, we went to the Madame Tussauds
in Hollywood
a couple weeks ago, and some of them were so spot on. They looked so realistic that it had to be made from a mold. But then some of them were not. Some of them were not that great.
I've been there too. Some are really spot on, and some of them are a little bit off.
Yeah, so that maybe not made from a mold, right?
Yeah, some aren't, but some are. It's just basically on the notoriety of the person, I guess. So yeah, I would love to have a Jerry Lawler death mask.
Really?
That'd be awesome. You have one upstairs?
Yeah.
That Peyton can't
find.
I
said Peyton to go get it, and he couldn't find it. But anyway, speaking of death.
Oh my God. So I'm here in Memphis looking for a place to live because I'm probably moving down here. And Jerry and I will go to lunch, and it's a place right next to a cemetery. Yeah. And we talked about on the podcast, our morbid episode of the podcast.
Gardens, Memphis, right across from Memphis Funeral Home.
We talked about our, this whole aspect of what's going to happen.
What? It's no big deal. Look, I've already completed my, what do you call it, preparations.
I mean, I know.
I bought many people have done this. I bought my plot.
Okay.
I guess that's what you call it. My plot, my space there, and it's at Memorial Gardens here in Memphis, and it's right. My plot. I told you about this. This sort of happened when my mom passed away, and we were doing all her final preparations, and these people that work at funeral homes, they get you in at sort of a, when you're vulnerable, you're feeling sad and all this kind of stuff, and then they use that time, they use those that inopportune time to hit you up for a big
upsells.
Yeah, let's go. Come on, Mr. Lawler. Look at this. You don't want to have somebody go through this kind of problem after you pass away.
Right.
You want to have all of yours, all of this stuff done for yourself. And so next thing you know, I'm buying a plot for myself, and the lady said, we have a special deal here. We have a celebrity row, and we would really, our manager, I just spoke to him, he would really love to have you out here.
We're dying to have you out here.
We're dying to have you out here. And I'm like, okay, don't rush me. But anyway, make a long story short, I bought the plot.
Right.
And I'm celebrity row. I'm right next to, my grave will be right next to Isaac Hayes.
Right.
And Isaac Hayes has a really nice, oh my gosh, they told me what it's called.
I mean, it's like a cover, but that's not the proper term for it.
Yeah, it's a big, like 7 foot long piece of bronze,
right,
with etched words and writing and pictures and all that stuff.
Yeah, we talked about this in the podcast before. It was
we did.
Our morbid episode, but we haven't traveled together to this spot. So
today we were just right there at it. We ate at this lunch place, and I said, look at there's my cemetery right there. And Glenn, of course, goes, ugh. I said, come on, let me go and show you Isaac Hayes' grave.
Let me show you where I'm going to be buried.
Well, you know, I told you before, this place is, I mean, they show movies out there. They have a movie night at this cemetery, believe it or not. They do, people get married out there. There's beautiful grounds, and there's a beautiful lake, and there's this place called God's Garden, and there's what was the grotto?
A grotto, yeah.
Go in and
not the Playboy grotto.
Inside this crystal grotto. No, it's not the Playboy grotto. Not at all.
You've been in that one.
There's no water in this one.
No girls.
No girls. So anyway, I just thought I'd take you out there.
Yeah.
Let you check it out. You thought it was very morbid.
I mean, not morbid. It was just weird. I mean, this is weird. I mean, I'm standing there on the grass where you're going to be buried. I mean, I took a photo.
Did you?
It's posted on the website.
I didn't know you did that.
I took a photo of the plot.
See, I didn't even see you take a photo.
Yeah. But next to Isaac Hayes, it's right there. So, yeah. So we did that today. We drove around the cemetery.
Yes, my mom and dad are buried there.
Yeah.
And so, all right, listen up. If you bet on sports, then you need to check out sportsinformationtraders.com. That's right. John Price at sportsinformationtraders.com is the man that can help you make money this football season. Now, John Price knows the lines better than anyone else in the country, and he specializes in line movement and value. So when you sign up with sportsinformationtraders.com, you get the best lines and premium information before the public does. He can help make you up to 5 times your investment in just 90 days. Go to sportsinformationtraders.com right now and learn why John Price is the only sports wagering analyst with a weekly feature in Forbes magazine. That's right, Forbes magazine. Now, if you want to win, give Sports Information Traders a call at 866-441-2711. That's 866-441-2711. Simply call and ask about the 90-day special. John Price is a proven winner and has been among the best for years with documented success in the Las Vegas Super Contest. So once again, just call 866-441-2711 or go to sportsinformationtraders.com. That's 866-441-2711 or sportsinformationtraders.com. Watch football, make money. It's that simple.
So, yeah.
What else? Oh, and then when we got back, we found some breaking news.
Breaking news.
WWE.
Well, this is going to be a short podcast because King has to get on a flight here literally in minutes.
Not minutes.
Well,
hour or so.
Trying to be dramatic for the show, King. 2 pieces of news that happened this week. The first, Monday Night Raw, Roman Regins says his leukemia has come back and he has to take some time off. He relinquished his WWE title, and he's going to be on the shelf for a while.
Yeah, and of course, that was the first time. I didn't realize that he had been living with this for 11 years.
Right.
I didn't know that he had it before. But anyway, yeah, that was a pretty emotional speech, and there's been a great outpouring from fans and all the guys in the WWE, and I certainly want to wish Roman the best. And just like I said, it was an emotional speech, but just, you just gotta think that the things that he said, it made me like extra hopeful in the fact that, he said with his faith, and that's the great thing. And I think then that we have faith in Roman that he's going to do whatever it takes to beat this, and he said it's not a retirement speech.
Right.
So we are hoping and praying that he will be well and back.
It caught everybody off guard. I guess they found out last week. He didn't do any of the house shows over the weekend, and then Monday comes, and he won't be in the ring for a while. So we saw some backstage footage of him hugging a lot of people. Seth and Dean, his Shield brothers, came on the TV. Seth had tears. But later that night, King, and I talked to you about this a little bit before the show, and then later that night, in the celebration, Dean and Seth, they win the tag team titles. They're pushing it on TV like this is a great end to a sad night. Roman's brothers win the tag team titles, and then we have one of the best, I think, heel turns that I love a good heel turn. One of the best heel turns in a while. Dean turns on Seth, DDTs him, and then just beats him up for 15 minutes. And the crowd, people are crying in the crowd, King, crying about this. And so they used Roman's announcement to turn a guy heel later that evening. Some people are saying they're upset about that because it was an emotional night. But I think you got to capitalize on what you're being given, especially from a creative aspect. I thought it was great.
This guy heel. I don't know.
Well, I ask you just because
I think this was already in the works.
Yeah.
And I understand you.
Well, 2011 when your mom passed, Michael Cole used that to get more heat with your feud against him.
I don't know if they're saying.
He obviously they asked you if that was okay to say that. I'm sure maybe this was. Roman, is that okay if
I don't think anybody
we use this? You think they kind of did that with Roman too?
No, they may have asked him that, but I believe that what was originally planned was a turn. I think it was just like the one they had done with Rollins before. Yeah, I believe that the turn was
sped
going
up.
to be on both Rollins. Well, no, I don't even know if it was sped
Roman.
up. I mean, because
It was going to happen. I mean, the seeds have been planted for a few weeks,
right.
But I think to get the true heel turn, to get the true amount of heat, would be on that night. I think it's nothing to do with Roman. It's just a matter of ending the night with these two guys winning the tag team belts. You have them cheering. People are excited because Roman's friends won the tag team titles, and then you drop the bombshell, and people are upset, which you should be. I mean, if people are legit upset, then you're doing your job,
Right, sure.
as a show. You're getting people invested. So I think it's great, but with Dean and Seth, we'll see what happens with that. But like I said, hope get well soon for Roman. Hope he's back soon.
Well, I believe this was in the works even while Dean was out injured.
Yeah.
I mean, you just look at his look. I love the new look on Dean Ambrose, and you just look at the look when he came back. You knew it was just a matter of time. He just didn't look like a part of the Shield anymore. And so, I think it's all good. And then the other big news.
Well, I have a couple questions, though. I mean, you booked for many years. You've been a top guy in the territory for many, many years. When the top guy goes out, like what you did when you broke your leg, who is the face of WWE now? It's not John Cena's part-time. Roman Reigns is the grooming to be the face for many, many years. I mean, who is the face of WWE now?
That is a good question. That is the $64,000 question. Nobody remembers that show.
No.
But that's a big question.
Yeah.
And I'll bet they're still scratching their heads right now trying to decide who should be the face of the WWE.
Well, they turned Braun Strowman to a good guy. Elias is now a good guy. So it's going to be some shuffling because you got to have some kind of line of who's bad, who's good.
Yeah.
Right? So when you have your top good guy out, someone has to pick up the slack.
Well, now, I'll say this about the WWE, and I think this was Vince's thinking a while back, that he likes to have the line blurred.
Right.
He doesn't like – he's kind of getting away from the hardcore good guy, bad guy, heel, baby face, whatever you want to call it. I think Vince likes to have the line blurred. I think he likes to be able to book, and especially if you're talking about champions, I think he would like to be able to book your champion against anybody. Mm-hmm. Good guy, bad guy, or whatever, fan favorite, somebody people don't like. But in the past, what has been most successful was a champion that was boom. I mean, like Brock Lesnar, he was pretty much straight away heel, except for I guess the hardcore and UFC fans and that sort of thing that made Brock Lesnar be, and the fact that he just was so dominant, a lot of people would just start to be for him because they didn't want to, in the matches, they wanted to be for the guy that won rather than the loser. So, he was kind of middle of the road there. But before that, John Cena,
so many years.
Straight up. Yeah, and, The Rock, Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, all of these guys, they were pretty much,
There's been a definitive, who the top guy of the company was for that time. Now, right now, there really isn't someone that WWE can bank on being, okay, that's the face of the WWE. there's a lot of great guys, but is there a top guy? It's just someone has to step up. So we're going to see at the Crown Jewel, we'll get into that, Braun versus Brock for the title. Maybe Braun gets the title, and maybe he takes the ball and runs with it while Roman's out. But you mentioned it. Another big news story that just broke today by the man himself.
What's old is new.
You want to break it? You want to say it?
Brother?
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Hulk Hogan is back. Right?
He's back. Well, according to an interview with the Orlando Sentinel, Hulk Hogan said that he's traveling to Saudi Arabia as of right now. I mean, that could change anytime. It's for the Crown Jewel, and plans for WrestleMania are in the works. So looks like Hulk Hogan is back in the WWE. Obviously, everybody knows what happened to Hulk in the past few years. Basically scrubbed from WWE history for a little bit, and but he's back in the Hall of Fame. he's back in the intro for the shows, and back hopefully on WWE television. Hey, I know some people would be upset about it, but
there you go. There's the new face, not a new face, but there's a guy that can still be the face of the WWE.
But what you gonna have? You can't wrestle.
No, I don't think he's going to be out there wrestling again.
No.
But he, for a long time he was the WWE, and you know what? I love Terry. I really do. I've helped get the guy started. Everybody knows that story. I mean, we've been friends from the first day I met him, back when he was just coming into Memphis. Came from Florida, where he was a bass player in a band, and got started there. And I've never had a unkind word or thought about the guy. We've been good friends. I mean, not hanging out friends that much, but we've been good friends, and I like the guy. I get asked a ton of times in different kind of interviews and things, about wrestling, and they say, who's the most famous? Well, that's what I always tell them. They'll say, who's the best, who's the greatest wrestler ever, and I'll say, well, I would have to say, if you want to say who's the most famous, the biggest name, Hulk Hogan.
Right.
And I've always believed that. I'll still believe that.
Yeah, no matter if you like wrestling or not,
right?
You knew who Hulk Hogan was.
Exactly.
That's like Stone Cold, The Rock,
right?
John Cena. These guys that transcend just wrestling, but also entertainment, TV, interviews. You hear the word Hulk Hogan, you know who that is, no matter if you like wrestling or not.
Right. Exactly.
And
he's coming back.
He's coming back. Saudi Arabia.
Like I said, what's old is new. Who knows? One of these days, they may call up and say, hey, we need you and good old JR to come back and start commentating again.
That'd be great. I'll enjoy that.
Well, who knows?
Are you going to be a Saudi Arabia king?
I don't think so. They haven't called me yet.
No. Tickets haven't even gone on sale yet.
Yeah. When is, have they even announced a date?
Yeah, November 2nd.
Oh, well, that's right.
That's next Friday.
Yeah, I'll definitely not be there.
No. You'll be coming back from, you'll be at San Antonio for
I'll
an
be in
appearance.
San Antonio.
But no tickets have been sold yet for this show because they haven't put them on. It's still up in the air. I mean, I think we talked about it before, but nothing has changed when it comes to if they're going to be in Saudi Arabia, if they're going to do it here in the United States, with everything going on politics-wise with that country.
They won't. They won't. That was Louis.
Louis.
Yeah. I don't think they'll think that this is competition or anything. But yeah, on that Friday, November 2nd, I'm going to be in San Antonio wrestling.
Man, good old San Antonio.
I love San Antonio.
I've never been there.
You know what I missed? You know what is happening in San Antonio this
What?
weekend? And it's one of the best in the country. I really enjoyed it. The Alamo City Comic Con.
Ooh.
I saw Ric Flair is going to be there, signing and whining and dining and profiling and all that sort of stuff.
Well, speaking of Comic Cons, we were at the Memphis Comic Expo this past weekend.
You actually
in your
worked
hometown.
at Comic Con with me.
Yeah.
Is that the first Comic Con you ever been to?
No, I've been to the Wonder World. Wonder World.
Wizard
Comic-Con.
World.
Wizard World.
Yeah,
I've been one of those.
Yeah.
That was pretty extreme. But for work, and we're next to Mark James. The whole weekend. Blake was there. Dr. Frank.
Dr. Frank.
Dr. Frank was with us all weekend.
We had a lot of people that were surprised to realize that Blake was the original.
Yeah, Dr. Frank. He was charging for photos. $45 for a photo.
He couldn't keep his eyes off Harley Quinn.
He was his flip phone. Blake still has a flip phone, everybody. And when he takes a photo, it goes.
Ka-ching! Some kind of funny noise, like a phony old kind of camera. And when he wants to use a flash, he holds up one of those things, like the lights of gunpowder or something.
Dr. Frank. Yeah. So that's good. Well, King, I know that we wrapped this up a little shorter podcast than usual, just because you got to get going
Wait
here.
a minute, you kidding?
What else we got going on?
Let's see. There's something we need to talk about. What could it be?
I promise I didn't do something around the house I shouldn't have.
You promise?
Well, I'll be house sitting your house. For
Yeah,
the week,
you really are. That is something very
burn
strange.
the house down.
We've talked about this before, as Glenn being the guest that would not leave, would not go home, and sure enough, we're leaving, and he's staying.
I was gone for 2.5 weeks, came down looking some places, and it just turns out that needed someone in the house.
Came down to look at some place. Glenn is moving to Memphis.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
There's a spot downtown. Found it. Maybe I'll look for more places while you're gone, and never know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be your neighbor.
Speaking of downtown, I want to invite everybody down to 159 Beale Street. King Jerry Lawler's Hall of Fame Bar and Grill. Man, we're packing them in. Business is booming. Really is.
Yeah.
And new general manager down there, and everything's going great. Got new bands. So come on down. This is a perfect time of year, man. Right now, the crowds are big on Beale Street on the weekends, every day of the week. Let's see what else going.
Barbecue restaurant.
Barbecue restaurant.
You
ate there. You really chowed down. You had the
big red
splash every time. What's on the big red splash? Tell them again.
You got sausage.
Yeah, smoked sausage.
You got brisket.
Beef brisket.
Ribs.
Not many barbecue restaurants in Memphis do
ribs.
Brisket.
Some pulled pork.
Oh, the ribs are the best. You got the big red splash. I just got a half a rack of ribs.
Right. And then I got mac and cheese and seasoned fries. Mm-hmm. And I had a roll too.
And then something that, being from Cleveland, you haven't eaten a lot of the southern desserts.
Right.
And he brought out a couple of desserts for you to try. You had never, are you serious? You had never eaten banana pudding?
I've had it when I was a kid and I hated it. So I just nixed anything banana flavored. I like bananas.
Wait a minute. You like bananas, but you thought you wouldn't like banana pudding.
No, I had banana pudding back when I was a kid. I didn't like it.
Like baby food banana pudding?
No, like when I was like we give banana like pudding or banana flavored, whatever. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So the guy brings it out. He brings out peach cobbler. Mm-hmm. And I like peaches, but I don't like peach cobbler. I never liked, anything cobbler. So
you don't like anything cobbler.
Apple cobbler, that's it. So I had some banana pudding. Amazing. And I had the apple cobbler and the peach cobbler. It was good.
Yeah.
So,
but how was the banana pudding again? Say it.
It was amazing. It was good.
It was really, really good.
So Jerry Lawler's Memphis Barbecue Company turned me on to some desserts that I thought I'd never have again.
Banana pudding.
So there
and
you
then
go.
we were at a restaurant last night, and I had another great dessert, and you wouldn't even try it.
No.
Pumpkin bread pudding.
Pumpkins, yeah. Was it pumpkin spice bread pudding?
Just
pumpkin bread pudding. Was it good?
Oh my gosh!
You ate the whole thing.
It was delicious.
And then Jerry, we went to. Okay, well, I gotta tell people this because you harp on me for the amount of food I eat. We went to Church's Chicken, folks.
Boy. That's because we went there because that's my son Kevin's favorite place to eat.
So Kevin joined us. Yeah. Church's Chicken. I got a 2-piece combo meal.
Oh, come on.
Hold on. 2 pieces of chicken with 2 sides and 2 biscuits and a drink.
Because it was cheap on special.
Kevin got 4 pieces of chicken and 2 sides. No, he had 1 side. He had 1 big side of okra. Jerry goes, "Oh my God, it's a $5 meal. It was like 2 pieces, 2 sides, a biscuit." He goes, "I want 2 of those." Jerry got 2 combo meals. I've never done that in my life.
Oh, you're kidding.
Never. Jerry had 2 combo. They gave him 2 drinks.
That's not true. See,
and you ate it all.
No, one of y'all took one of my drinks. Either you or Kevin.
Oh, Kevin did.
Yeah, see, though, still don't.
But still, you had 2 combo meals.
I thought it was my dryer shrinking my clothes, and now I have found out it was my refrigerator. All right.
And where are you going to be this weekend?
On the high seas. What do you mean?
Where are you going to be next weekend?
Tell us about because you'd like to tweet out and these pictures and put them online. tweet. What's your tweeting? Where do you get tweets from?
Well,
At
Dinner with King with the podcast. What am I tweeting out?
That picture of the cemetery.
Yeah, I'll post a picture of the cemetery plot.
Don't do that.
Why? It's already out there. People have done it already. I'll post it.
Okay.
There you go.
And I'm at Jerry Lawler.
On Twitter.
Yep.
1.4 million followers.
Yep.
And
Just finished up some mystery boxes.
You know what's funny though? Seriously though,
What?
you know, a couple of weeks the whole Donald Trump thing.
Yeah.
And you thought, well, people thought that people would be upset. I sent you a photo of your followers every day.
Yep.
You gained like
4,000 something followers.
But like it's like 100 times what you usually get a day.
Yeah.
So that when that news dropped, like that day, you were getting thousands of followers since that news cycle.
Isn't that funny?
That's pretty funny. You gained more followers.
Yeah.
And people were hating on you. That's pretty interesting.
Crazy.
Follow Jerry Lawler, Real Jerry Lawler on Instagram. I think we're going to have an Instagram account.
Oh, cool.
I don't have one for Dinner with the King, but
Need one.
I need one.
And then my website where everybody can go to commission artwork or to that's www.kingjerrylawler.com, and we have new crowns available.
Yes, we have 3 crowns that I'm going to put on the website in the store. Well, it should be up there by now.
They're beautiful.
3 crowns signed.
Yeah.
We'll sign the crowns. They're on the store. There's only 3 of them, folks. And there's mystery boxes.
No.
There's
Not right now.
plenty of mystery boxes for
not.
sale.
Ah.
And there's
No
8x10s
right now.
There's 8x10s, and King might be throwing some random stuff up there. And he walks around the house and he finds his stuff and he goes, "I should put it on the website."
Look at this Norman Rockwell original. I think I'll put it in a mystery box.
$50,000. There's some, we put some toothbrushes up on the website.
What?
Used. I'm sure someone out there would buy a used Jerry Lawler toothbrush.
Juan out in California. We just sent his stuff out and put him into a little extra stuff to make him happy.
And Juan goes, "Hey, if Jerry sells anything cool, tell me first." Because
he wasn't talking about a toothbrush. He's talking about more shirts.
Yeah, more shirts or crowns or anything. Yeah. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Jerry, have a safe flight, safe trip overseas, and we'll be back on Halloween, right?
Give him something to look forward to.
Yep, we'll be back on Halloween.
What's our next podcast going to be about?
I don't know. Maybe we get Tom Savini on Halloween.
Ooh,
that'd be good. Never know. We'll talk to everybody next week here on Dinner with the King. Make sure to check out Jerry Jarrett's podcast on podavenue.com/Memphis, and Randy Hales will be starting his podcast soon, deep diving through his Memphis memories.
And my goodbye today is, remember, it's easy to grin when your ship comes in and you've got the stock market beat. But the man worthwhile is the man who can smile when his shorts are too tight in the seat.
The preceding show is a Pod Avenue production.